I know that God exists because I'm living proof. Because I remember that I told God on my knees, I said, God, please help me. And I felt that God told me, stop doing drugs and I'll give you everything back. He didn't give me everything back. He gave me 150,000 more.
Nicky Jam!
14 number ones.
Nicky Jam! Nicky Jam!
I started getting panic attacks, anxiety and stuff like that. See, when somebody goes to war, they get PTSD, right? So what's the difference from a guy that goes to the war from a kid that sees the war from his house? We still have PTSD. Ain't nobody telling us we have PTSD.
We all have our own levels of trauma. I'm not comparing mine to yours or anything like that.
No. I can't say your trauma is less than mine. No, I didn't see my mom for more than 20 years, something like that.
Wow.
She was in the streets. Most of the time that I tried to do music was to see if I got famous enough for my mom to recognize me.
What happened with that?
Bro.
It's been so amazing.
Last year was just a transformative, life-changing event.
Team greatness is great.
My name is Lewis Howes. Thanks so much for being here. And before we dive into this special video today, I want to remind you about the Summit of Greatness, our annual conference happening this September in Los Angeles, with David Goggins, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and many more incredible speakers and performers. There will be so many live attendees there that you can meet with, you can network with, and you can help transform your life. Make sure to click the link in the description to get your tickets, and I can't wait to see you at the Summit of Greatness here in Los Angeles. Welcome back, everyone, to the School of Greatness. Very excited about our guest. We have the inspiring, the iconic Nicky Jam in the house. Good to see you, my man.
Likewise.
Very excited. I was telling you beforehand that I've been, believe it or not, as a gringo, I've been big into salsa dancing and Latin pop music for 15, 20 years. I've got a Mexican fiance. I love the Latin culture. I'm learning Spanish, but your Spanish is so quick when you're speaking. I'm like, I still don't understand what you're saying, but
Yeah, no, especially a Puerto Rican Spanish.
oh man, you guys are fast.
And I'm one of the ones you could more understand because I lived in Colombia. They have the best Spanish, one of the best Spanish
Yeah.
around. So Colombia made me speak a little bit more clearly. 'Cause
Clean,
in Puerto
clean.
Rico, we speak quick and we
You
got
got slang too, man. That
We got the
slang, I'm
slang.
like, what are these
Yeah,
words? But
yeah.
a couple fun facts. I don't know if some of these may not be fun, but one of them is we're both Pisces,
Yes.
born on March 17th.
17th, yeah.
I'm March 16th.
Oh, awesome. What? A
Day
day
apart,
before me? That's
day
crazy.
apart, you know?
If we was hanging out, we could just celebrate in one day. our
Exactly,
birth-
exactly.
birthday. Yeah.
So we both have a love for Latin music. I'm a big salsa dancer, like I was telling you, and I love your music. So congratulations on making a big impact on the world. I think you have over half a dozen videos that have over 1 billion views. You're one of the biggest artists in the world. And you bring so much joy and love to so many people. So I want to acknowledge you for that.
I appreciate that.
Maybe not so much of a fun fact, but something in common. You went to jail for a while for drugs. My brother went to prison for 4.5 years for selling drugs. And we have that kind of experience in common. I didn't experience it personally, but I went to a prison almost every weekend when I was younger to go visit my brother.
Your brother, yeah.
And I know the impact that had on his life, our family's life, and my life by being associated with that. I'm curious, and you went through a few different phases in your life. You had success early on, then you kind of hit rock bottom, which you talk about.
Kind of. So.
I mean, big. You gained a ton of weight. You were in drugs. You almost overdosed. You had a lot of different challenges. Jail, getting caught up on the wrong activities. But then you had a massive bounce back. And I'm curious, what did the jail experience teach you about your mindset and what was possible after that experience? Because it sounded like, for me, from the research I've done, that you didn't think you could really come back from that, or you struggled in a big way. You gained a lot of weight. You were like, what's the point of life?
Yeah.
So how did you turn it around? Was there someone that supported you during that time? Was it something inside of you that said, I got to make something of my life? What was the process of getting out of the darkness and into the light?
I would say when you get in there and they close those, they close that, how do you call it?
The jail cell?
The jail cell, yeah, that sound is incredible. And automatically you think like you lost everything, you know? I'm very claustrophobic, so the space is very limited. And they gave me more years, actually. They gave me 6 years, and I came out in 3.
Really?
I guess. I'm sorry.
good.
I guess. They thought that I was a good guy, and they needed to put like really bad guys in there. They didn't have too much space, so that was a good thing for me.
3 years for you.
3 years, yeah.
That's a long time, man.
It is a long time, but the reality is, I'm the type of guy. I was born and raised in a lot of problems. You know, like my mom was a drug addict, my dad was a drug addict. I had zombies in my house, literally. So, for me, I wasn't raised in an environment where I go to jail and I'm like, oh my God, I'm shocked. Nah, I was like, for me, it was normal.
It was like home.
It was normal. Yeah, it was home. It was normal, and it was something that I knew I was going to be there in any moment because I was a rebel. I didn't have my mom. You know, in my mentality, my mom, you know, she abandoned me. So I was a rebel. I wasn't scared of going to jail. I wasn't scared of dying or nothing like that. You say it was for drugs, but actually it was for attempted murder. Why I was in jail. Because of the lawyer things I can't really speak about.
Sure.
You know, a lot of things, but it's one of the worst things that could happen to you as a human being. But at the same time, I always look to find positive moments and bad moments, you know, and I always like joke around, and I'm always joking, even if it's a bad moment. I joked around. Everybody that was in jail, I made jokes for them. I sang for them. I bullied a lot of people in a good way.
Right. Teasing people, picking on people.
I was always, you know, people always were like, if somebody had like, you know, life in prison, like, yo, keep away from that guy. He don't like nobody. I mean, I understand why. But I would still joke around with the guy that had life in prison. That was just me. You know, I made my time constructive. I read the Bible. I did push-ups. But yes, my soul was dead. My soul was dead at the beginning. After that, I was like almost used to it, you know? So when they call my name and they say Nick Rivera Caminero, and they telling me that I'm ready to leave, I couldn't believe it because I knew I had more years coming by. And
so you got out on good behavior or got out early?
Good behavior, and like I said, they probably needed space for real bad guys. And I could see that because the space was very limited in jail. But nothing, I came out, and when you come out of jail, it's not only about it's not coming out, it's dealing with everything you left behind, all the bad things you left behind before you went in there. So it's like, it's a smack in the face. First of all, in 3 years, a lot of things changed. The phones had cameras. We didn't have that before. And like in 3 years, a lot of changes. And apart from that, you know, dealing with all the problems that I left behind. And
you had to face those things.
And not only face that, your career is on the floor. Nobody wants to mess with you. Nobody wants to record with you. I went to studios, people ignored me. I didn't have any songs doing good. I had nothing, obviously, because I was away. So when I come out, it wasn't like Tupac's story that when he came out, everybody was waiting for him. And, like these rappers, when they go to jail, they're in their prime. And I wasn't really in jail in my prime. When I got in jail, I was already going down in my career. So.
And how old were you then?
I was like 20-something years old. I don't really remember exactly the age, but like 23, 25, 24, something like that. I come out in 2006, and I realized it was going to be worse for me because I was still doing drugs inside of jail.
Probably more drugs in jail than outside of jail.
Yeah, of course. You have nothing to do. You can just do drugs, and I got drugs inside of jail. I was doing, and then I started doing perks more than ever.
Wow.
And I was doing 30 perks a day. So I was literally
30?
A day.
Man, your liver must have been just screaming at you.
I know. I don't even know. I think my liver loves me because I've been giving him a lot of since I was 11 years old.
Wow.
So, I was taking 30 perks a day. And if you know about perks, that's opium. That's heroin.
Wow.
Literally heroin in the pill. And it was just embarrassments after embarrassments. It was just crazy.
And you get out in 2004, 2005? Is that when you got
2006.
out? 2006 you get out. It's almost 18 years ago.
Yeah.
And when did you start to change your mindset? I mean, you had to face a lot of the stuff that you dealt with in the past. You had to like deal with people not wanting to work with you.
No,
you had
well,
to
a lot of things happened after that, because I start trying to get my career back, but I ended up doing more drugs than ever and
Really?
messing up my career more and more. And a lot of things happened, you know, like stupid stuff. Like, I don't know, like I was in my car, and my car was under my sister's name. I didn't pay it for 6 months. I was already famous, and then the cops tried to stop me. Then he didn't have a sign, so I kept going. And then helicopters came, a whole bunch of cops came. They threw me against the car. They arrested me. It was embarrassing, the most embarrassing thing that happened. One of the most embarrassing things that happens, because imagine they arresting me in front of everybody. And it's
All
just
over the news too, and
all the news, and we're jumping until, remember, before I was in jail, I had a whole bunch of street problems already. You know what I'm saying? Like street things that I can't really talk about, but I did a lot of street things, and I was involved in a lot of stupid stuff. So I went through hell before jail, and then I went through hell in jail, and then I went through hell after jail. But in 2008, I got a call, you know, after all these embarrassments, all these situations. I was overweight. I was a drug addict overweight.
You were a skinny drug addict, yeah.
I wish I was a skinny drug addict. At least I could wear better clothes. But when you're overweight and you're a drug addict, I think it's worse.
Wow.
For some reason. Because I did perks. And when you take pills, you eat.
Right.
It's not like you take pills and you don't get hungry. You eat. So I ate more than ever, and I got big, and I just all I was trying to do was take the pills and eat out of anxiety, you know. And
on a scale of 1 to 10 at that season of your life, that time in your life, 10 being you had a lot of love for yourself, 1 being you had 0 love for yourself, where were you on that scale?
Love for myself?
Yeah, like self-love, self-belief, self-confidence.
Oh, I could say 2 or 1.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I didn't care. I mean, I was big, I was fat, I was horrible looking, I was had no confidence in myself. Music-wise, my career-wise, I thought I was just an embarrassment. And
you got a call.
I had a call. I got a call in 2008. And somebody said like they wanted me to do a show in Colombia. And I'm over here thinking, I didn't have shows. Like I had to lie. Some people would call me and say if I could get these other singers, and I would be like, yeah, I'll get you these other singers, and then I'll get half of their money.
Sure.
And like the deposit, and then I'll call them and say, you know what, they can't do it, they can't make it, but I'll do it for you for that half. And then I'll call cities next to those cities, states next to those states, and I'll make 3 people contract me that they didn't even want to contract me to do shows. I would trick people into, you know, booking me shows without wanting to. So I had to hustle my way. So I get this phone call in 2008, and the guy's like, we need Nicky Jam for the June 18th, something like that. And I said, yeah, let me get you my manager real quick, and I'll just change my voice. Like, yeah, you want the Nicky Jam or something. Yeah, what's the date? June. Oh, let me check the date. Let me see. That's the only date we have available.
I like it.
I go to Colombia thinking, in my mentality is like, okay, I'm overweight. I have no hit songs. What am I gonna do in Colombia? Why is these people like are they booking me because they want to make me feel embarrassed? Like they had like the headline of the singers were like they were all killing the game.
Really?
They were killing. They were in their best moments, and I'm like the only one that doesn't have a hit. So
something from like 10 years ago, maybe, or something.
Yeah, probably like 7, 8. It don't matter. Like, and then the music
you weren't
industry,
relevant.
You need to be relevant. Yeah. It don't matter if it's 2 years ago, unless you have the icon status that I have right now. But I didn't have that in those days. I go over there and I see that the show starts. It's a stadium. There's thousands of people. It's amazing. Everybody was crazy. There was people outside the hotel. Like I was like, I didn't want to go out because I was embarrassed. I was very insecure. When I get to the show, I get to the place where they make you wait, the waiting room,
green room area,
green room, whatever. Yeah. I'm noticing everybody's performing before me, and I'm talking to I talked to the promoter. I'm like, yo, why you got me last? I don't even have a hit song. These people over here have hit songs. They should be the last ones. I should be the first one. I should open for them. And they're like, nah, you wrong, bro. People here waiting for you because you never been here when you was in your best moment. So obviously because I was locked away.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So I go on stage and I start performing my songs, and for them they're classics. For me they're old songs.
Right.
For them they're classics, and standing ovation. It was just incredible. I killed the game. More than 40,000 people screaming, and they were crazy, and it was just amazing. They didn't care that I was overweight. Nothing. Nobody even mentioned my weight. In Puerto Rico, everybody mentioned my weight every day.
You're criticized and judged in your own country, but
Yeah,
in another
but
country, you're a hero.
It's normal. It happens. I understand and I get it. But then I realized, I say, you know what? I'm going to stay here, because I started doing shows that same week, and I was doing like 3 shows a day. Yeah, it wasn't a lot of money, but let's say it was $2,000 a show, and I made 3 shows a day, 3 shows on Friday, 3 shows on Saturday, 3 shows on Sunday. I was like, bro, I'm making $10,000 a week here. And I started going home. And
you were getting appreciated and loved, and people wanted you.
And people saying I was a legend, and you know, I was like, I'm a fat legend, but okay, whatever you want to call me. I think to myself, and I say, you know what? I'm moving to Colombia.
Wow.
I'm moving to this country. This country is showing me so much love. This country is giving me to eat. It's giving me a job, and they appreciate me. And not only that, the country's so beautiful. The people are so beautiful. The way they treat people, the way they go out of their way to help you, especially Medellin, Colombia. And I said, why am I going back to Puerto Rico? I mean, in Puerto Rico, I'm this old school rapper that sucks, that has drug problems and crime and stuff like that. And here I'm a legend that people love and appreciate. Obviously, I'm staying in Colombia. So I just moved to Colombia. Make the long story short, I go to Colombia. The first months that I go to Colombia, obviously I go party. I do all the crazy stuff you do there first 2 or 3 months. You know, did drugs, went to the clubs, hang around with the girls, everything that you would expect me to do in Colombia. But for some reason, I did so much drugs that something happened to me physically, where I had a problem in my, I don't know if you call it motor system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everything that your brain controls your body. So if you're going to pick up this phone, your brain tells you pick up the phone. I was having problems with that because of all the drugs I did, not only in that moment, during my whole life.
Yeah, it's catching up to you in your brain.
It was catching up to me in my brain. Something was going on in my brain. So one day I had like a problem, like a motor system problem. And when something like that happens, it's just the scariest thing in the world. It's not like you get overdose or something like that. It's your brain not working. So I went to a doctor. A doctor told me if I should stop, or I'm just gonna get a how do you call that when you just get
like paralysis, or like
paralysis.
Wow.
Exactly. And
that's a scary conversation.
A very scary conversation. And he said that, and automatically my mentality was like, okay, I'm gonna stop. I called my dad, and I stopped doing drugs. I got into a room for 3 days, and you know how it is when you break a drug, especially something with opium, is like it's like you're cold, your body's, you're vomiting, you're dying, you're cold, you're warm, you're sweaty, you're cold, you're warm, you're back into your bones. 3 days of that, 3 days of hell. And finally I get clean. Obviously that first week, and I started getting panic attacks. And anxiety and stuff like that. So I did a song called Piensas en mí. I did this song.
Piensas en mí?
Piensas en mí, yeah. I did this song. I did the video with $500 that my boy gave me. When I did the video, when I did the song, for some reason I was feeling worse, the panic attacks, and I moved into a farm.
In Colombia.
Far away farm in Colombia. Very cheap. It was like $500. It was a beautiful, it looked like a mansion, I ain't gonna lie. But to get to that mansion, you had to go through, when there's no, there's no street to navigate. You have to go on top of, so it was crazy. But for some reason, I just, connected myself there. I was feeling better. Anxiety started getting better. I was alone, living there in that farm. I had a cow going through the window, eating my arepas.
Wow.
And it was an experience. I felt good. I was feeling better about myself. And I was there for 6 months. And my manager comes up. Well, he's my manager today. In that moment, he was trying to be my manager. I didn't want a manager because I had a lot of bad experiences with managers. And I go to, he comes to me and he tells me, Nicky, bro, your song is a hit. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So the song you did with the buddy for $500, that song?
Yeah, but
Months
I did
prior.
the song a year ago.
Oh, wow.
A year ago. And I'm like, what do you mean? The Piensa en mí song? That song's been around for a year, bro. And that song's, the radio rejected it. Nobody wanted to play it. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, bro, look on Instagram, look on YouTube. So I went to YouTube. It had like more than 4 million views. In those days, 4 million views for a song was amazing.
It was
We're
viral.
talking about 2011,
That's viral.
2012. That was amazing. And it was just one city. The song was killing the game in one city. That's all I wanted, because I knew if I had a hit in Medellin, Colombia, it was gonna go national. Because Medellin was like the second capital of the country. So I go down to I didn't believe it anyway. So I go down and there's this radio station show, and I go perform. And when I perform, I sing all my old songs, like I always did in Colombia. And then people started screaming, "Piensas en mí, piensas en mí, piensas en mí." I'm like, and I look at the DJ. I'm like, yo,
Play that
do
song.
you have the beat? And he's like, I don't have the beat, but I have the song. You can just sing on top of the song. I'm like, let's go. He plays the song. When the beat comes out, the crowd goes. Thousands of people start screaming and they go crazy and they start singing the song. Obviously, tears come out of my eyes because this is the first time I have a hit after like almost 10 years.
Wow.
To make the long story short, I remember my song went #1 on the radio. And I'm telling you, I have Grammys, I have more than 16 billboards, I have American billboards, I have Hall of Fame billboards, I have every award you could imagine. I have them all. And nothing made me cry more than the #1 song on the radio in just the city of Medellin, in La Mega. Because it was the first time I had success. I mean, I walked all around the street just crying because I couldn't believe I had something that was people were liking. It was domino effect after that. Obviously, I lost weight. I lost more than probably 70 pounds. I was looking great. Awesome. And when I lost weight, automatically, everything changed.
Really?
Everything. The way people looked at me, the way people talked to me, like the security I had to myself too at the same time. It was like, because I know, I ain't trying to like, but I know I'm a handsome man. You know what I'm saying? I know I have it. I just, if you don't take care of yourself, you can be the most handsome man. You're going to look like, I think handsome people could even look worse when they don't take care of themselves, So I started, like thinking, okay, this country has more than 65 million people. If I do a #1 national song, I can jump around other countries because this YouTube thing is just what people respect. So,
and it's shareable.
This is where my business mentality automatically opened up. Okay, I'm not doing drugs anymore. I'm clean.
You're losing the weight.
I lost the weight because I already lost everything. I was skinny again. I was looking good. I was very secure about myself. But at the same time, I was thinking, because I know for a fact that if you have a lot of views in those years, automatically other people, and still today, other countries are gonna be like, yo, what does this guy have that he has all these views? So I didn't do one #1 national hit in Colombia. I did 5 #1 songs national in Colombia, and I became one of the best singers in Colombia, not being Colombian, competing with J Balvin.
Wow.
Being J Balvin, the guy that saw me take a cab trying to get at the show, him and his Range Rover, you know what I'm saying? And I'm over here taking cabs and embarrassed and stuff like that. I came from that to going toe-to-toe with him in his own country.
Wow.
Being one of the biggest singers nationally in Colombia, not being Colombian. So
Has anyone else done that? Gone to Colombia, another Latin singer, or
no, they've had hits in Colombia, but they haven't been the number one
wow.
singer in Colombia. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I can't. No, actually, no. There's a lot of Puerto Ricans that have been having hits in Colombia, but none of them moved to Colombia.
Right. Mark
Moved to
Anthony didn't
Colombia.
move there. Yeah.
Nobody, not even Mark Anthony, not even the reggaeton singers from my genre. And then from that we went to we went to like starting to try to work the U.S. You know, we knew that we needed to do something. Actually, the funny thing is, a song before that, it was already a hit in Colombia. I went to this program called HTV, and I went to Miami and tried to play the song for him. I went 2 times. I remember his office was in a safe, a bank safe. It was a big movie. I don't know. The guy looked like Al Capone in there. Showed him my song. I went 2 times there, and the second time he's like, "Yo, bro, I'm just gonna be real with you. You're just too old."
Wow.
Okay, I'm old. It's funny because I'm living in Colombia and I have all these hits already. I'm making all these views, and the guy thinks I'm old. I'm like, no problem. I come out with a song called "Voy a Beber," which has millions of views. Probably has 1 billion views already. I think it has 1 billion views already. I do this song, and it becomes one of the biggest hits in Colombia. And it starts being a hit in the States, but without the radio support.
Just YouTube, social media,
Yeah.
Spotify, just people sharing it.
We didn't have Spotify in those days.
Oh, wow.
I'm one of the, if all my hits would have been in moments of Spotify, if you think I'm okay now, bro, it would have been a whole different ball game. I was one of the singers that got huge without Spotify.
Wow.
And then Spotify came. Hate that, but yes.
What do you think it was about these hits? Were you strategic in the, I have to make a great YouTube video, obviously a great song, but then the video needs to be something that's shareable?
First of all, it was just my moment. People loved the music that I was doing. I was doing really great music.
You were
But
inspired.
Apart from that, it was the Instagram era when it started. And I was one of the first influencers in the Spanish movement. Nobody was doing that. I was doing videos, 15 minutes, 15
second
seconds
videos back in the day.
in the days, and I was killing it.
Wow.
I was walking the streets of Medellin, showing people when I bought my first car after all the days that I was messed up, or all my success, on everything. I was really working social media, and that combined with the really good music made people just go crazy about me, because they saw the human part of me that they never saw. They didn't know. A lot of people heard Nicky Jam, but never knew who Nicky Jam was.
They just heard the music, they didn't know who you were.
They didn't know who I were, because in those days we didn't have that platform. Today we have the platform.
And people also love a comeback.
Oh yeah,
They love when
do.
they love watching someone crash, but then they love watching someone come back.
Oh, 100%. And it came from that to work in the States. There's a lot of parts of the story that, there's too much. We'll probably be here until tomorrow, but I worked the States, and it came from having 5 number 1 hits in
the
Colombia
States? Oh, okay.
to having 5 number 1 hits globally.
Wow.
In the world.
Come on.
Yeah, globally. So, and from that, World Cup, movies in Hollywood with Will Smith, Vin Diesel, my Netflix series. Oh my God, I've done so much. I mean, I don't even know where to finish or start, to be honest with you. But I'm really grateful for what Colombia and my fans and the whole world have gave me, and I'm proud of myself too, because I busted my.
Of course, man. Now I'm curious, because you grew up in an environment that wasn't a rich mindset environment. It sounds like both your parents were involved in drugs. You didn't see your mom really at all or much, I think, for a long time.
Okay, so you understand the story. My dad, when I was 9 years old, they caught my dad with 25 kilos of cocaine. An undercover cop that hanged out with us like he was our friends in the family and all that. So he goes to jail. He bails himself. And instead of going to jail, he takes us as a fugitive to Puerto Rico because he knew that my mom wasn't my mom left the house and my mom wasn't in position to take care of us or nothing like that. We was going to be alone. So my dad just, he just took the risk. And in those days, the system was not like today. Today, you travel from the States to Puerto Rico, they're going to catch you in the airport. Today, back in the days, back in the early 90s, it wasn't really like that. So my dad takes us to Puerto Rico, and that's how we end up in Puerto Rico. My dad, as a fugitive, was, taking care of us, and that's why I didn't see my mom for more than, I don't know, 20 years, something like that. I mean...
Did you talk to her at all on the phone? Or
I lost my mom.
20 years?
Yeah, she was a drug addict. She was in the streets.
Yeah.
She was in the streets, and then she had a problem where she stabbed this guy, and they deported her to Dominican Republic. I didn't even know she was in Dominican Republic. So I didn't know where my mom was. Most of the time that I tried to do music in my comeback was to see if I got famous enough for my mom to recognize me and get to me.
What happened with that, with your mom?
It did happen.
Really?
I did a show in Dominican Republic.
Come on.
Yeah. You'll see it on the Netflix series. I did a show in Dominican Republic, and my bodyguard told me, Nicky, there's this lady outside. She's saying that she's your mom.
No way.
And I'm like...
You hadn't seen her in 20 years?
Yeah. And I couldn't believe it. And I just went outside, and she was arguing with the bouncers of the event. And then I called her, and then obviously we hugged, and we had our moment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Till this day, we have contact. We talk every day. I bought her a house. I take care of her. I can't really see her as much because she lives in the Dominican Republic because she got deported because of her situation. She can't come here. I'm fighting that. I'm trying to get the pardon from the United States so she could come back. I'd rather have her over here because it's hard to make how do you say
connection.
A connection if she's not with me.
Physically with you, yeah.
Yeah.
What is that like? I mean, I can only imagine just the challenge of having a father, doing drugs, your mom not really being around or being in the streets and you guys having to leave her. I mean, it sounds like you didn't have a good foundation mentally or emotionally on how to navigate the world.
No, I never did. Well, I have the street smart. Thanks for that situation. You know what I'm saying? Thanks because of the situation of my mom and my dad. I have street smart, and that's something that you don't study anywhere. I was raised in the streets on my own, literally. I've been singing since I'm 12 years old. So I was always in the streets trying to hustle, trying to make money, trying to do it, trying to make it, try to get there. And the big guys would take care of me from the streets, and all the guys from the hood would take care of me. And like my father did a good job as a father, and I respect him. I love him so much, and I will always respect him because he did the impossible to take care of us. And but I have guys from the streets that I have to give credit to that were my father too as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Who kind of helped raise you as well? Because you were in Old Town San Juan? Is that where you kind of grew up?
Well,
then?
the reality is we lived everywhere in Puerto Rico, so I can't say I'm from one spot from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Because when you're poor, you don't really stick to one spot. Like you move around wherever it's easier, cheaper, or whatever. So yeah, I lived in pretty much all the big cities in Puerto Rico.
When did you start to, I guess, navigate the emotions of all the trauma? Because what I like about you and your story is it seems like you've been able to kind of break this generational trauma and do good in the world.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of people would just keep traumatizing themselves or doing things that would harm others because they don't have the foundation.
Well, the reality is in the moments that I did street stuff and all the bad stuff that I did when I was a rebel and all stuff like that, if I ever did something bad, I did bad to bad people.
Yeah.
I'm not justifying it, but the reality is that I never did anything bad to somebody that was a good person, because I'm a good person. I never disrespected any person that was humble or a good person. It was nothing that. So I'm really proud of myself as a human being because I've always been a good human being. Like the kid that I see is this 8-year-old kid that would help all the ladies buy their groceries and bring their stuff and always smile. That's Nicky. That's my essence. That's just who I am. I'm a humble guy. I've always been like that. I just got crazy and I lost myself, you know. But even in those bad moments, I always saw myself as a good guy.
Really?
Yes, I didn't have that mom and dad to take care of me the way they had to, and yes, that could probably take a toll when it comes to confronting the world. But at the same time, I appreciate that because today I have so much street smart, and it's because of that. It's because I'm a survivor, and I learned so much in the streets. And being street smart is something that's very important. I know a lot of people could say, "Oh, why would I want that?" You don't want that. You don't know you want that until something happens to you.
Yeah.
Until something that you be like, well, if I had a little bit of street smart, I probably wouldn't fall into that situation. And thanks for that. I learned not only about bad situation, but I learned how to hustle my way into making business and being smart and just, making things happen. Because the street gave me that. The street gave me that knowledge, and college doesn't even give you that. No disrespect to people that go to college, but they should show people in college how to pay taxes and stuff like that, and how to, be an entrepreneur and make money and survive in this world. And I feel that it's just they show you too much stuff that you don't really need in the day-to-day. But that's a whole new conversation. We'll talk about that some other day.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, they didn't show. I didn't have that foundation, as you say. But at the same time,
the streets gave you that.
The streets gave me that. They gave me something even bigger.
What about the biggest lesson your dad taught you growing up?
Be humble.
Mm-hmm.
Be humble. And my dad is one of the most humblest guys in the world. And it hits me hard, because even in bad situations, my dad was the type of guy that if somebody needed something in their house or they needed help or they needed anything, my dad being broke, my dad, being in a bad situation, he will go and he will help them, And that's something that I learned from him, and that's the human being that, I'm sorry I get choked up, but that's the human being that I am,
Yeah.
It don't matter the money that I make or whatever I have, I'll help anybody.
Really?
That's just the way I am. And I learned that from him. He never gave me advice, you know what I'm saying? He just showed me how it is to be as a human being. And that's Nicky's essence, I'm a humble guy. I don't know what you saw when I came inside, because sometimes you don't automatically feel it, but the energy I give people when I go to places, I'm just a cool guy.
Yeah,
You know
love,
what I'm saying?
love.
It's all love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And well, you see, when I came in with a big crew, I'm like, and you're like, oh, that's a big crew. I'm like, they're gonna wait in the room. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry,
Like,
yeah.
But automatically, my mentality is, I'm not here thinking I'm a superstar and I'm coming into your house doing whatever I want to do. I'm automatically letting you know, don't worry, I'll put my people on the side.
Yeah. I wasn't worried.
No, but
Yeah.
you probably didn't care. But
Yeah. For sure.
but you saw my intentions.
Of course,
You
yeah.
saw my DNA is that. I am not the person that thinks he could do whatever he could do just because I'm famous.
Yeah.
Or nothing like that. I'm just a humble human being. And my dad showed me that.
That's beautiful. How do you stay humble when you're one of the biggest Latin pop stars in the world and you have, a lot of money, businesses, success, followers, fame, you sell out arenas, 50 to 100,000 people at a time. How do you stay humble and have the essence of little Nicky inside of you at all times when the world adores you?
I could say I stay humble because it's just part of my DNA. It's in my blood. I do not. If I have to stop being a human being, a good human being, to be a superstar, I'd rather stop being a superstar and be a good human being.
Yeah.
It's
That's cool.
There's something in Héctor Lavoe said in Spanish, said es chévere ser grande, pero es más grande ser chévere. And the way you could say that in English is it's good to be big, but it's bigger to be good. And that's something that I have in my head, you know? That's stuck in my head. And I'm the type of guy that when I leave a place, I want people to say, yo, he's a cool guy, bro. Like, I like being with him. I enjoy, but I don't want to be the guy that leaves and be like, oh, he's a jerk. I don't want to be that guy. I don't like being that guy. I'm not happy of being that guy. I don't want to be the guy that comes to a place and brings up bad energy, or people be like, oh my God. Or people just deals with me because I have the success or the money or the power or whatever you want to call it I have. I want to be the guy that you really want to hang out with me. I want people that work for me, admire me and not fear me because of the check, and work because they admire what I'm doing, you know? And you show people the blueprint of how you should be. You know, a lot of people, it's not easy. It's not easy, but I think what helped me was falling at the same time and coming from the ground, you know? And if you see my background, automatically you'll realize I was never a cocky guy. I was always the guy trying to help his sister eat. You know, I would go to Dunkin' Donuts and wait in the back when they throw the donuts away, and I'll pick them up and I'll take them to my sister so she could eat. I would go pack groceries and make $20 a day so I could buy ham, cheese, milk, Coca-Cola, and cigarettes for my dad. I've always been the guy that, you know, helps people, and I'll get out of my way. And I know it's easy to say it from the mouth. Whoever knows me knows that if I have cash in me, it's not mine, it's everybody's. You know, I'm the type of guy that there's a guy in the light. And even if he's going to take drugs, I'll give him $100. I don't care, because you'll probably get a heart attack in that sun out in that light. And I'm probably avoiding that, you know. And I know everybody be like, oh, cool, that doesn't make any sense. Well, because it doesn't make any sense because of the world you live. You don't come from that. I came from that. I understand that situation. My mom came from that. My dad came from that. My uncle died from that. So it's just, you know, it's just who I am.
Right. What about your mom? What do you think is the biggest lesson that she taught you from a memory that you have, either good or bad, or from her absence for so long? What is something that she taught you to do or not to do? Whether, again, that she said it or she embodied it, that you witnessed.
I think what I learned about my mom is just to, like, don't take for granted any time. You know, just be with your kids, man. Enjoy your kids the most you can, you know, the better you can. I'm not gonna lie here and say I'm Mr. Father of the Year. I am not. I wasn't raised like that. But I'm the type of guy that if my kids need me, they can get me anytime they want me. And I'm there for whatever they need. I am not Mr. What are you doing, daughter or dad? Because I didn't have that.
Right.
I never had that. And my kids, if they see this interview, they know. They're going to say, he's real.
Yeah.
I am not that father.
But if they call you and they get a hold of you.
Whatever you need, I'll be there in a second.
Right.
Whatever you need, I'm that type of dad. And I'm that type of dad, and I'm not saying that's the best type of dad. That's the dad that I am. Why? Because of the foundation that I had in my house.
Right.
And I know my mom doesn't live the way she wants to live today. Is not happy the way she should be just because she wasn't there for me. So I learned that lesson. I'm not saying that I'm not saying she was bad or good. Because when I learn about her situation and what she went through, I understand it more and I forgive her.
Yeah, you can have compassion for her.
100%. And hey, forgiveness is not for her, it's for me. Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for yourself. And that's what I do. You know, I forgive. And I'm happy that I do because I live better. I don't care. I have a friend here that I had a problem the other day. I had a problem with him 4 years ago. I didn't talk to him 4 years ago. And he's hanging out with me this week here in LA. And we squashed the beef months ago. And the reason why we squashed the beef was because in my mentality, I don't feel good having problems with people. I just rather fix the problem. I feel better. I sleep better. And that's just the way I am. I have friends who are like, I will never forgive that guy what he did. You crazy? Ba, 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 ba. You know, with that macho mentality. Bro, do whatever you want to do that makes you happy. I'm happy forgiving. I'm happy forgiving people doing bad. I don't care. You know why? Because it makes me a better human being. It makes me get all that weight off my shoulders and live a better day, you know?
That's beautiful, man. I've heard you mention a little bit about your faith in God in some interviews, written interviews, but I haven't heard you speak about it. Maybe I just haven't seen them. But when did you start to create a relationship with God, or what is your faith like today?
Well, the thing is, Puerto Ricans, we very, very Christians. You know, like we believe in God a lot. We have a lot of, you know, we have a lot of faith in God, and a lot of people in, you know, this world today, a lot of people do not think about God and care about God. I've realized that back in the days. There's a whole bunch of singers, Daddy Yankee, Farruko. They're in church right now, and they're worshiping God, and they giving the word, they spreading God's word around the world, and people are making fun of it like it's a joke. I come from an era where you couldn't even joke about that. So it's always been for me. God has always been like first for me. Even if I don't go to church, I have a very big connection with God.
Really?
I respect God, and I know that God exists because I'm living proof. Because I remember that I told God on my knees, I said, God, there's a whole bunch of talent out there, but none of them got the talent I have. Please, please help me conquer back my career. And I felt that God told me, stop doing drugs and I'll give you everything back.
Wow.
He didn't give me everything back. He gave me 150,000 more. And if you saw where I came from and the hole that I was and what I went through and how my mom was in drugs and prostitution and my dad was a drug addict and I was a drug addict and I was in jail at the same time that my dad was in jail because they caught my dad off that case that I told you the same time I went to jail. You can't be in a deeper hole than that. And then doing Hollywood movies and doing the World Cup and owning businesses and having more than 5 #1 hits globally. Come on. You think that's a coincidence?
Wow. So what was that conversation like, or do you have a consistent conversation with God?
Yeah. If I tell you I pray, I'm a liar. I do not pray. 'Cause I have ADD. And to pray, you really have to have patience.
Yeah.
I just talk to God.
What do you say?
Everything. I like, God, I know I messed up. I'm sorry. I need your help here. I need you to help me with this. Tell me, just guide me. Tell me what I have to do. I know that I'm messing up. Like I have a conversation with God like he's my friend. I don't sit down and pray because I know there's codes of praying. You can't just sit down and ask for stuff. You have to first thank God for what you have. Then second, you have to ask for other people's petition, what they want, and then you talk about yourself. That's the right way. That's the Bible way to I don't have patience for that.
Right, so you
And,
just have a
and
conversation.
it's not that I'm selfish.
Yeah.
I'm not selfish at all. It's just that I have ADD. Like I'm I'm the type of guy that I could talk. If I talk to somebody and the first minute is not interesting, you're gonna lose me. You're gonna lose me, and I'm gonna be zombie with you for a long time. And you're gonna just talk, and I'm not really gonna listen. That's just the way I am. I don't know. It's because it could be probably the genius part of me, and because of the music, because I'm always thinking about stuff, and my mind goes $150,000 per hour. I said
You're making $150,000 an hour too.
Yeah, I can make that too. I mean, we don't really need that, but
yeah.
The reality of everything is,
So you made a pact with God, it sounds like.
yeah.
You made a pact. You made a promise. You
Yeah,
said,
I made a promise. I ain't saying that I haven't broken my promise a
sure.
whole bunch of times. I ain't saying that I'm perfect. I ain't saying that I'm not messing up. I still have my skeletons in the closet. I still have my my problems from the past attacking me right now. You know what
Really?
I'm saying? Yeah, of course. I mean,
they're still coming after you.
they come back. Yeah,
Really?
They come back, man. I mean, come on. Look,
What does that feel like?
I saw my mom do crack cocaine. I saw my mom do stuff that people normally don't see. I saw my dad do drugs.
You watched it as a kid.
I watched it as a
Wow.
kid. I saw people getting killed in my face in Puerto Rico in the hood, like normally, like every kid will see. And as a teenager, I saw a lot of people die. Best friends, I saw my best friend die in my face, face. See, when somebody goes to war, they get PTSD, right? And they get treatment for PTSD. The reality is there's no really treatment for PTSD because most of them, they stay messed up. They come from the war. Okay, so what's the difference from a guy that goes to the war from a kid that sees the war from his house and sees what's going on in the streets and see his mom going what she goes through and all that? We still have PTSD. Ain't nobody telling us we have PTSD. Ain't nobody studying us. But of course, I saw the traumas that I have of the stuff that I seen. So yeah, I could be clean a whole bunch of years, but I ain't saying that sometimes I have my alcohol days when I go crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like till this day, I smoke weed because I need to deal with the anxiety.
You need a release, you need some calm, yeah.
Because I have a lot of anxiety problems. I've been here sitting down, and you can see I move my leg. I can't stop moving my leg.
I used to be like that a lot, just constantly shaking my knees, constantly anxiety.
I always do that.
Trauma, yeah.
I always do that. I move 24 hours a day. I can't stop. I have my girl says I have a motor up my.
Have you ever looked into ways to heal the trauma emotionally?
Well, I thought telling my story was gonna help me in Netflix, and it helped me a little bit. But you still have those problems, you know. Yeah. I don't think you ever heal it completely. I think you get better.
Yeah, I've been on a 12-year healing journey.
You've been?
Yeah.
No,
I mean, I was sexually abused by a man when I was a kid, when I was 5. Again,
I went through that too.
Yeah, my brother was in prison. It wasn't like you, but it was watching a hero of mine
but
go
that's
to
not
jail,
easy. That's not easy.
Being there and the trauma of that, just parents going through stuff, all those things. We all have our own levels of trauma. I'm not comparing mine to yours or anything like that. Yeah, but it doesn't. It still affects you.
No. This is something that I tell people. A lot of people tell me that, no, well, after everything you went through, bro. I know people that their parents got divorced. They're more affected
than what you saw.
Than what I've been through.
Yeah.
So I can't say your trauma is less than mine.
Yeah.
No.
Right,
I mean,
right.
Bro, not everybody's built differently.
Absolutely. But about 12 years ago, I started opening up about the sexual trauma, and I started reintegrating a relationship with my younger self. You have little Nicky, I've got little Lewis. And I started having conversations with him. As kind of weird as that sounds, I started to build a relationship with the parts of me that were wounded and scared and insecure and traumatized for years, and said, listen, as an adult, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to give you that compassion, that grace, that love, and I'm going to protect you. Like, I've got you now. And I started to do that work. But opening up about it, for 25 years, no one knew that I was sexually abused because I was so afraid and ashamed and insecure.
No man wants to talk about that.
No one talks about it. But it started opening my heart more. I lived with so much anger and frustration and just wanted to dominate and just win at all costs. And I never wanted anyone to hurt me again. And so that mask would come out in different scenarios. But as I started to heal that, it took many years, and it's still a journey. I started to feel a sense of harmony and peace that I'd never had in my life. I never felt peace inside, just always on edge. Like, who's trying to get something from me? Who do I need to please? Constantly shaking my knees all day long, constantly on edge. Like, where's the attack?
I still do that.
Where's the attack? Even if I'm on my couch, where's the attack? Where's the tiger coming at me, right?
Exactly.
And you opening up about it sounds like it started to support you. You did the Netflix thing, starting to support you. It's been a journey for me, and I'm 12 years in. In the last 4 years, I've really dove deeper into having a coach support me, healing all the different relationship dynamics.
12 years.
12 years of healing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's a journey. Like you said, it's not like, I talked about it, I'm healed.
I did my Netflix thing.
It's the beginning.
2018. I still got so much to go, but people won't understand that.
Yeah, but I've realized you can't just talk about it a little bit. And it's not about rehashing the past and talking about it, but it's about integrating the vision and the version of you that you want to start living today, and mending and healing the past in the process. And when we can integrate the vision from the past to the present, we create harmonious freedom. And it doesn't mean every day I'm like perfectly feeling peaceful, but it's a consistent practice, just like the conversation you have with God on a consistent basis.
Exactly.
It's a consistent conversation with self, higher self, God, and creating that forgiveness process like you talked about. So I really acknowledge you, Nicky, for starting to open up about it, because I know it's extremely hard to talk about. And I know no one's got to understand but you, what you've been through.
Yeah.
Some people can relate, but no one's got to understand fully the traumas that you've had.
100%.
And I acknowledge you for, it's the amount of pressure and the weight that you've probably had to carry from the past skeletons and things you're still carrying. Things you're still carrying that you haven't told anyone and maybe you never will.
Every day.
While also trying to be an artist and be on stage and, be of service to your team and your family and your friends and your communities. The pressure and the weight, I acknowledge you for being in the process of the journey. I know it's not perfect. I know you make mistakes. I know you've got stuff you're going through all the time.
I'm gonna make them tomorrow too.
Exactly. But the journey you're on, I think, is beautiful. And I don't think a lot of people in your position, specifically in the Latin communities, open up and talk about this stuff.
No. Especially the what you were saying about sexually abuse. Those are things that people from my music industry and
you want to talk about that,
being a thug and a rapper, and people don't open up about stuff like that. So, but I've always been known as the guy that just talks about everything, and I use everybody as therapy. I'm using you as therapy right now. I use my friends when I play basketball after I finish, and I tell them all my problems, and they sit down and I tell them in a funny way, but at the same time I'm releasing. So that's why I make it through. I make it through the days, and I have these days where I have anxiety and a lot of things go, and depression and stuff like that, and I have 16 days where I'm just smiling and laughing and having fun. So, hey man, it's better. It gets better and better. I am not here saying, I live a sad life. No, I live a beautiful life. I'm happy. I have beautiful kids, beautiful friends, beautiful girl, and I enjoy life. I enjoy life to the fullest. But I have my black moments too,
sure.
dark moments too, and I just
we all do.
That's being a human being. That's just what it is. But my past hasn't been easy, so I deal with a little bit more. I deal with a little bit more weight. But hey, there's some people that have even worse than me. There's people having worse than me, and they still living.
Yeah. Some
people can't eat. Some people don't have legs. Some people don't have arms. Some people don't have. They lost their parents. Some people. This guy said. This guy was sad. Well, there's this saying about this guy that was sad because he didn't have any shoes.
Mm-hmm.
And then he saw the guy that didn't have feet. And then it's like, it's like you say, like there's always somebody that lives a worse situation than you, so be grateful. Be grateful what you got.
I mean, you've seen extreme poverty. My fiance, I was telling you, she's from Mexico. I visit Mexico City a lot. And even in the nicest parts of Mexico City,
you'll see it.
I'm always reminded when I see a 7-year-old girl walking up, just trying to get 5 pesos to sell a little bit of gum.
Yeah.
And just day by day.
Yeah, I see that in Colombia
for her parents, Puerto Rico, everywhere. I mean, in LA too, there's homeless people everywhere. It's like there are people and there are kids that don't have much. And we are blessed, even with the problems, the challenges, the traumas that we've experienced. We are blessed, and there's a lot to be grateful for.
We are.
I'm curious. Do you ever visualize and think about what you want to manifest in the future? Do you put thoughts out in the universe and the world and say, I want to manifest this, I want to create this? And do you ever look at the world that way? Or is it more of, I'm just speaking to God and I'm going after my goals, but you're not visualizing as much?
I don't really have a goal as how I want people to see me. I know the reality is that people are going to value me way more when I'm not in this world. And I know that's just the way it is.
They'll value you more when you're gone.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
It's just the way it is. Especially with artists and people that's done what I've done and been living where I live. And I know this for a fact because I've seen a whole bunch of rappers that haven't even done one little part of what I've done, and they die, and then everybody.
Then they're relevant.
And then, I'm not saying I'm not relevant.
But you're massive.
I'm talking about but it's not about being relevant.
But your impact is huge right now.
Yeah, but it's not about that. It's about the message of your life. getting to people. People really valuing what you've done in life and what you've been through in life. People do it because of the Netflix thing and stuff like that, because I was smart enough to like do it now instead of wait for somebody to do it when I wasn't alive.
Right.
But the reality is, that's just the way it is. I know for a fact it's the way it is. I'm telling you, when people see everything I went through my whole life and I'm not here, people are gonna...
Really?
Yeah.
But I feel like people, see you, respect you.
I think it's gonna be way more.
Wow.
I think it's gonna be way more. And I don't see that people do not respect me. They do respect me. They love me. They have respect for me and love, and I have loyal fans. And I'm very grateful for everybody and grateful for the fans and everything. But I know for a fact that that's just the way it is. It's just crazy. Life is crazy.
I mean, you have a new album that kind of talks about some of this, some through lines through some of this. Can you share what this is about and what you're excited about?
Well, the album is called Insomnia.
Insomnia.
Well, in Spanish, it's Insomnio. It's talking about everything. This album talks about everything I've been through these last 2 years. I've been through a lot these last 2 years. Alcohol, a lot of partying, a lot of problems with my relationships and stuff like that. And I have a problem with it, insomnia. I don't sleep a lot.
You don't sleep much, right?
I don't sleep much. And when I listened to this album, I put together the album and I listened to every lyric and everything that I did to this album, I realized I need to put a name that reflects this. And automatically I was in the plane and I said, Insomnio. Every song is at nighttime. Every song talks about 3 a.m. this, I haven't slept because of this, or I'm in my cyber truck at 5 o'clock in the morning, or, like every song even the nice songs that has an upbeat type of vibe takes place at early dawn, you know what I'm saying? So automatically in my mind, I said, Insomnio. So I have this new song coming out called Insomnio. It's like a merengue type of vibe, urban merengue. It's really insane. You're gonna love this song.
Merengue.
It's really crazy. It's a sad song, but it's an upbeat song.
Insomnio.
So when you listen to the song, you don't even realize it's a sad song. You're gonna enjoy the song. You're gonna dance. You're gonna have fun with the song.
But the lyrics are sad.
But the lyrics, what it says, is like a sad song. And that's what Nicky's known of, because I did El Perdón with Enrique Iglesias, and if you listen to that song, it's a sad song, but it's an upbeat song.
It is.
And so when you listen to if you make a sad song to an upbeat song, that's Nicky's DNA. That's what I do.
Interesting.
And it's just...
Why do you like doing that, making a sad song to an upbeat vibe?
It's just my way of working. It's just the way I am. I think everybody has their own color, And that's the genius part about my music. It's like...
It's a contrast. You would think a sad song is...
If you pay attention, if I would sing this song, actually I do these songs in different beats, in slow, sad beats, and then
you bring them back.
I make them faster, and then I make it an upbeat type of vibe, and I make the tempo quicker, and then you be like, oh my God, bro, I would have never thought this was a sad song. That's just the way of me working.
Yeah, because when I think of like a sad song, and like a Spanish song, like a Mexican Spanish singer, it'd be like. What's the guy's name? The guy who passed away.
Juan Gabriel?
In the last couple of years. Vicente
Fernando?
Yes.
Yeah,
he passed away. Yeah, I mean, he would have these like romantic, sad songs.
But even if he had
slower
these...
slower,
but you can make that happy. It's all about the beat.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? Because if I tell you, I'm dying, I don't want to live anymore. And then you go, I'm dying, I don't want to live anymore. You forget he's saying that he's dying.
Let's go, baby. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you make the song an upbeat song, automatically you forget it's a sad song. That's just my way. You know what I'm saying? The music is crazy. You could say even the worst thing, like something like very bad to a girl. But if you say it in an upbeat and you make it sound nice,
she's gonna like it.
Sing it, she's gonna drinking.
What do you think, if you could reflect on all the music that you've written and you've sung, just something that speaks to your heart right now? Maybe this isn't the ultimate lyric for you, but what's one sentence or one line in a song that you've written that speaks to your life right now? Whether it be in a new album, your first song you've ever, any of the songs you've worked on, what's a sentence within one of your songs that speaks to you right now?
Man, why you guys always gotta come with these punchlines? You gotta make me think, cause right now
that's what I like.
A song that represents me right now. Right now has to be Insomnio.
Mm-hmm. What's a line within the song that speaks to you?
Antes odiaba yo el alcohol, ahora no paro de beber. Lo hago para esconder el dolor que a simple vista no se ve. Yeah.
Then translate that in English.
I used to hate alcohol. Now I don't stop drinking. I do it to hide the pain that you can't see at simple eye.
Yeah.
The reason why I did these lines is because there's been a lot of controversy about me drinking and hanging out and partying and stuff like that after me stopping drugs 10 years before, and people thinking that, because, you know, for people to understand, my drug problem was not alcohol, was perks and cocaine and stuff like that. So, yeah, that sentence right there.
Wow. There's I love this, I can't remember if it was, I think it was the Oscars acceptance speech from Matthew McConaughey when he won the Oscars years ago. He talked about his hero that he was chasing, which is himself 10 years in the future.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, I'm always chasing my hero, who is me 10 years in the future.
Yeah, I heard that one.
And I really like that concept of kind of imagining your future self and what does your future self look like. If you could see yourself 10 years from now, Nicky in 10 years, and it could be the ultimate version of you, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, you know, lyrically, musically, financially, whatever it is, relationally, what do you see for yourself as that person in 10 years that you would love to be able to get to?
I would like to really, I could say, just be behind the scenes and work with new singers. You know? I enjoy the music industry. I enjoy the creative part. I would love to be the guy that, you know, I already have some artists and stuff like that, but I want to like really focus into that and, you know, just always be in the music scene. You know, I just like music. It's my life. It's my passion. So just to be like a manager, producer, and, you know, and create and have being part of one of the biggest singers in the world in that moment in 10 years from now, for me, that's awesome, you know, because it's just something that I want. Apart from that, I just want peace. I want peace. I want to live okay. I want to have health. I want to be happy, and nobody's 100% happy, but at least anything close to 100%.
80, 90%.
Yeah.
What do you think would allow you to create more peace in your life?
Allow me to have more peace in my life?
It's called the school of greatness, not the school of average, Nicky. So that's why I'm bringing these questions for you.
Oh, man, the thing is, you really want that answer. That answer is really, this is a strong answer. To be honest with you, I have to retire.
Really?
Yeah.
From music?
There's no peace. There's no peace in the music industry.
Being on the road, constantly creating hits.
There's no peace.
Really?
I have to retire. I'm not doing it now, though.
Right. You're in your
I
prime.
don't need that peace right now. I need the other piece. Nah, but I ain't retiring right now. But I know retiring and just relaxing and enjoying life and not worrying about making more money and making more money and making businesses and stuff like that. There's no peace in there.
Yeah.
Peace is not caring about anything anymore. Okay, analyze this. Who has peace? Old people.
Oh.
They're 60, 70 years old. They don't care about nothing.
They let go of their possessions.
You're stressing about stuff. I know you are. I don't know what it is, but you probably stressing about stuff. I'm stressing about stuff. 90% of the people in this in this room outside are stressing about stuff. I don't think old people have that situation.
Wow.
You know why? They retired.
Yeah.
They chilling. They're relaxing.
They might have regrets, but they're not stressing about other
But
stuff.
you're not gonna have peace when you're grinding. When you're hustling. There's no peace. There's gonna be a little bit of happiness, but there's no peace. That's a lie, bro. There's no way you can have peace because you're always trying to get something more. And then how can you have peace when you're stressing about getting more and more? You know? So that answer that I'm giving you, I know it's not the one people want to hear. But that's just Nicky.
That's where you're at, yeah.
I'm an honest guy.
For sure. I've got a few more questions for you, Nicky. This has been awesome. I'm really grateful for your time. And before I ask them, I want to make sure people check out Insomnio, right? So Insomnio, I want to make sure they check out the new album. You got a lot of content on social media everywhere, so people can follow you on Instagram. I don't know if that's the
Nicky
main
Jam
place.
on
Main
Nicky
place.
Jam.
Yeah.
Instagram is Nicky Jam, yeah. TikTok is Nicky Jam.
Everywhere you're at. So follow you, check out your stuff. You're on tour right now also, or you're doing shows.
I'm gonna start,
Yeah.
I'm doing shows, but I'm gonna start doing my tour, the US tour soon.
And so people can go, where can they go to get tickets for the tour as well, or the shows that you're doing right now?
They go to nickyjam.com and they'll find everything.
Everything. Okay, cool. How else can we be of service and support for you today before I get into the last final questions?
Nah, man, I'm just being here and you know, making this interview and having people listening to what we talk about and really thinking about what I'm saying and taking it as a constructive way. I'm cool with that.
That's beautiful, man. What do you think will be the biggest fear that you'll face, either now or in the future, as you're trying to continue over these next 10 years within your career and building what you're building? Do you have any fears in the
The only
process?
fear I have is to not having health. You know,
Really?
It's the only thing that scares me. I mean, everything else I'm not really scared about. You know, just not having health. Health is everything.
Yeah.
If you have health, you could be poor. If you have health, you could be rich. If you got health, you could deal with any situation. Health is everything.
Yeah.
That's all I want. I want to have my connection with God and have health, the best health I could have.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't do things right for my health to be okay, but hey, we're human beings. You know, we're learning every day.
I've heard many times from different people that health is wealth and inner peace is the new rich.
Yes, sir. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah. There's a question I ask everyone towards the end. It's called the 3 truths question. It's a hypothetical question and a scenario. So I'd like you to imagine for a moment.
Do I need to have a huge IQ to?
No. You just need to have an imagination. And I'd like for you to imagine, Nicky, that you get to live as long as you want in this world.
Okay.
And you get to accomplish and create everything. Anything financially, physically, you know, businesses, you're managing the biggest artists, whatever you want to do, it all happens. But for whatever reason, it's your last day on earth many years away. And in this last day, you have to take everything with you that you've created. This conversation, all your music is gone. Anything you ever make, for whatever reason, it's hypothetical scenario, it's gone. Let's just hypothetically. And on the last day, you get to leave behind your 3 lessons, everything you've learned from your life, from all the music you've created and all the work and the health and the problems and things you've overcome. You get to share only 3 things, and that's all we have within your content to remember you. Let's just hypothetically. What would you say would be those 3 lessons you would share with the world? I like to call it 3 truths. What would those be that you think?
3 lessons that I would like to leave the world.
Share with the world, yeah. And that's
Before
all
I
they
leave.
Yeah, and that's all they would have to, you know, they wouldn't have your
They
music
could be
anymore.
words.
Yeah, any words or lessons, or they could be lyrics, they could be that you think if this is all you could leave behind, what would be those 3 lessons for people?
I would love to leave behind all the funny moments in my life, because it shows people how to smile always and enjoy life no matter what.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. You said I can't include music?
All your content is gone, but you get to share, you know, a lesson.
I would like to share my traumas and how I surpassed them in many ways. Wow. That's the second one. And I would say I would like to share my humbleness. The human part of me that makes my essence.
That's beautiful. I've got one final question, Nicky. Before I do, I want to acknowledge you for a moment. I want to acknowledge you for the evolution of you. Again, this is the first time we've met. I've only seen your stuff online. I see the creative genius in you through your music and your work and your content. This is the first time we've met, and I've heard good things about you from other people that I know who know you. And I want to acknowledge you for being here today through all the traumas and the troubles you've been through. I want to acknowledge you for taking care of little Nicky inside of you. And I know it's a beginning journey that you're going on with being there for him and all the stuff that he was neglected. And I want to acknowledge you for being honest and open with people in this conversation, but in everything you do, because I think people look at you and they look at people like you and think that you don't have any problems because you're famous, you're successful, you've got money, and everyone wants that. But there's a lot of, complexities behind the scenes within you. And I just want to acknowledge you for being on the journey and acknowledging your humanity, your imperfections, and the things you're working on. And my hope for you, if you don't mind me speaking into it, is that you do find peace in the process and you don't have to wait till you retire. My hope for you is that in your conversations with God, you find a deeper sense of peace.
Amen.
And a deeper sense of love. And you heal everything that you need to heal, because I believe that when you keep doing that with yourself, you're going to transform the world in a bigger way that you're not even scratching the surface on how you're able to transform the world and help heal others through your art and your music when you continue to do that for you. So take or leave that. I just wanted to acknowledge you for the journey, and I see incredible things in you for the future. So
Amen.
If I can support, hopefully I can come watch a show one day and
you can,
and
of course,
come support.
I can't wait.
Bring my lady and we'll have some fun. But I have my final question, Nicky. What is your definition of greatness?
Greatness is humbleness. Greatness is falling, losing everything, and getting up, cleaning your shoulders and get it back again. Greatness is smiling even if you have the worst moments in life. Greatness is helping other people and having fun while you do it and smiling while you do it. Greatness is being wrong and then realizing that you could be wrong and then make it right. That's for me. That's what I think greatness is.
My habits of coping that maybe I'm scared of changing. Maybe it's
like from heartbreak or from loss or from sadness?
I think it's just in general, like there's certain things, the tics I do, or the ways that I handle my stress and emotions, or the ways that what if I find out, oh, there's a way better way of handling this than drinking?